Hi Marshvilles, it's Mrs Hallwood here. I hope you're all looking after yourselves. I am going to show you how to make some super kawaii origami hearts, and they are really simple to make and you don't need that many materials either. So let's get started. All you will need is a piece of paper and a pair of scissors. Now you should really use paper because for origami you need quite thin paper. People who do origami use special origami paper, but you don't need that today. Now to start with, we need a square of paper. If you've already got a square of paper, that's great, you can use that. But for many of us, we won't have a piece of paper that's a square, so we need to make that first. Now to do that, it's quite simple. We need to get our rectangle, take this bottom corner, take it up to the side, and this line here wants to run alongside this line here. So we're going to take this corner up to the edge, and this line here is going to run alongside here to create our square. So line it up first before you create the crease. Now you can take a little time to do this. You want to get it nice and neat. When you've got that line running along that other line there, then you can create your crease. When you're happy with it, run your fingers along this crease and you can flatten it down. Then we should have a triangle here. This is the bit we're going to keep, this is the bit we're going to cut off and get rid of. So just to remind you, this edge of the paper here is going to line up with this edge of the paper here. Fold it over, and that's where you're going to make your crease. So you should end up with a triangle. Now all we need to do is get rid of this piece. Remember I said no rulers, no measuring. All you're going to do is take your scissors and cut that piece off. Just be careful, take your time. That bit is gone. You can draw on this, colour, do what you want with it, but for now you don't need it. Now we have our square. Now you'll see that our square has this line going across it. That's great because we need that. We now need to put another line like that going across this way. So we're going to take this corner, this bottom corner, and match it up with this corner at the top. So we're going to fold it across. So these two corners are touching. Put the crease along here. So use your fingers to crease. And now we have an X. So just to remind you, we had our square. You want to put a cross in it. So you've got your square piece of paper, you're going to fold one corner to the other corner. Fold it over so the corners are touching. And when you're happy that they are touching each other, you can put your crease in. Open it up and you should have a piece of paper with a cross going across it like this. Now if you want to make the other cross stand out a bit more, you can take the other side here and fold it up to there and just put another crease in to make it stand out a bit more. There you have your square with your cross going across. Now let's start doing some folds. need to take your piece of paper and turn it so that it looks like a diamond. So you want the points, one at the bottom facing down and one at the top facing upwards. So you want the line going from top to bottom. Now, your first fold, you're going to take the top point and put it so it's touching the middle of your square, or your diamond at the moment. So this point needs to touch the middle of your square. Once you're happy that those 2 points are touching, you're going to do your crease. So you can see that flap. So that's touching right now. Your next fold, you're going to take the bottom point, this point here, and it's going to touch the top of this line here. So you're going to take this bottom point all the way up so that it's touching the top of this line. So you can always see these little lines on here, that's your guide. Make sure it touches. Once you're happy that it's in the middle, you can make your crease. Like so. Now this bit's a little bit more tricky. You want this line here, where my finger is, to line up with this line in the middle. So what you're going to do is fold it over so that it's lined up with the middle line. So it's a little bit more tricky. So it's going to come up and over. So this line here is going to now touch this line here. So it's going to come up and over. We're going to have a line going across the middle. So you're going to come up and over. So this line here and this line here are now going to be touching. Once you're happy that those lines are touching, you can make your crease. So it's a bit tricky, you might have to practice. And then the same with the other side. This edge needs to be touching this line here. So it's going to come up and over. Once you're happy, you can put your creases in. This edge needs to touch this line. Now you can kind of start to see a heart, a bit like a Minecraft heart or an 8-bit heart. Now to make it look a bit more like the hearts that we know, you're going to turn it over. These little triangle bits up here, we're going to flip them down. So we're going to take this point here and it's going to touch this line. So you're going to fold it so that the tip is going to touch this edge, so that we get a flat line on top. So this tip is going to touch this line. Make a crease and it creates a flat line on top. Then we do the same with the other side. This tip, fold it over so that it touches there. And we've got two flat edges on the top. And we're going to do the same with the sides. Fold them in just a little way so that they're flat on the edges. Then when you turn it over, you've got your heart. Nice flat edges. So you can decorate this. You can do them in different colours, different patterns if you have them at home. You can put things on them, you can write on them, you could maybe put them in the windows and put a rainbow on them. It's up to you. I hope you've enjoyed making your little hearts. Maybe we could make something else another day. Thanks for watching. Bye.